Hi everyone, welcome back for another tutorial. In this tutorial I want to show you how to remove a subject from a more complex background. So in this case I've got this person right here with some trees behind her. I was asked to do a tutorial on this and my friend actually sent me an image, but there was a problem with the image. The problem is that right here on the edges there wasn't enough detail. So when taking a portrait like this, I understand that you want the background blurred with some bokeh, but if you plan on removing the subject from the background, make sure that all these areas are sharp. And even though in here they're not spot on, I'm just going to sharpen slightly so we can have a bit more detail. So I'm going Control J or Command J on the Mac, and I just duplicate the layer. I'm going to filter, and I'm going to sharpen and sharp mask, and I've got something like so, and as you can see we have a bit more detail in here. It's not a massive difference, but it will help us. So now I want to add some saturation to this image, because afterwards I'm going to the channels. So normally I would use adjustment layers right here, but because I've duplicated the layer and I want the effects straight on the image, I'm going right here into image adjustments, and I'm going into hue saturation. So now hue saturation, I just want to add an overall saturation, something like so, and now I'm just going to click here where we've got the scrubby slider. I'll click here and I just want to drop down a bit the saturation from the yellows and the greens as well. And as you can see, still a bit saturated background, but not as saturated as the subject. So I'll click OK, and now I'm going into channels, and now we have the individual channels. We've got the red channel, we've got the green, and we've got the blue. So now all I want is I want to focus on the one that gives me more contrast, and I can see straight away that the red will give me better results. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the red channel, so I'll just click and drag all the way down to the new channel icon and let go, and duplicates the red channel. So with this done, I'm going into image, and I'm going to adjustments, and I'm going into levels, and I want just get a bit more contrast out of this, and to make my life a bit easier as well when brushing. So I'm just going very slowly, something like so, and I'm going to see if I can get a bit more whites. Yes, something like this, and I'm going to bring down the midtones again, and let me see what happens with the black ones. So the black ones, it's something like so, and I'm very pleased with this, so I press OK. So now comes the fun part. So first thing I want to do is select my brush right here, or press B on my keyboard, and I'm just going to make it smaller. And first thing I want to do is I want to make where it's dark right here, I want these areas that they're brighter and surrounding areas of the black, I want just to paint that in black. So I'll just go like so, and you'll understand in a second why this is important, because it will help a lot. And as you can see, I'm not being very fussy about it, so something like this I'm very pleased. And now I want to go into select the whites, and where it's dark right here I want to paint it in white. So I'll just go like this, like so, and I've got a soft brush, so I'm being a bit careful. Whoops, I just messed up. So I'll just go again, something like this, and I'm going to make my brush harder, and I'm going to zoom because I want this area right here, because it's kind of proper black. I want to just get rid of the black. I can keep some of the grays, it's not a problem at all. So like so, and I'm going here as well, and right here, And as you can see, I'm not being fussy at all. I'm focusing more on the blacks. So I'll just go like so, and like this, and I'm nearly done. And I'm just going over this. If I was doing a proper composite, obviously I would mask that area as well. And I've got a bit of hair in there that was a bit darker. So now I'll just zoom out, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the blending mode of my brush. So from normal, I'm going into overlay. I'm just going to make the flow about 50%, something like that, and I'm going to make it softer, and I'm going to make it bigger, and I'm just going over again, something like this. And now once again, I'm not being very precise because I'm painting with the overlay mode, so it doesn't go over the blacks. So that's why I had to do it first, paint darker areas where the girl is. So I'll just go like this, and get a bit of detail. And as you can see, still maintaining detail of the hair as well. Now I'm going to do the opposite, so I'm going to just flip the colors. I'm just going to press the X on my keyboard, or you can just click this arrow, and now I'm painting in black. And because I've painted before in black those bright areas, now it makes it easier for me to just go to with overlay, because otherwise nothing would happen in that area, in those areas. Because as you can see, I'm painting in black, and I go over white areas, and doesn't affect much the white areas. So I'm kind of happy. I'm just going to flip again the colors, and just another more passes with my white brush, flip to black, and I'm pretty happy with this. It's not very accurate, but bear with me. So now that we have this, I'm just going to hold Control or Command on the Mac and click this thumbnail right here of my channel. So I'm going back to my layers, and on the background layer I'm just going to duplicate the background layer, and I just click Add Layer Mask. The top layer, it's the word sharpened and saturated. We can get rid of it because we don't need it anymore. And as you can see, she's extracted already, but still not perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just create a new layer, select the color, fill, and I'll just go 50% gray, something like this. And as you can see, it's not perfect right here. So what I want to do now is select layer mask right here. I'm going into filter, blur, and Gaussian blur, and I want to focus in this area and see how good it is, the blur. So in this case it's only 1 pixel blur, so not much happened. So I'm just going over a bit, something like so. I'll click OK, and now I'm going to image adjustments, and I'm going to use my levels, and now it gives me a bit of control. And as you can see, focus on this area. When I move the sliders, because I blurred so the mask, so we're going from black, different shades of gray, into white, and with the middle slider, because it affects midtones, in this case the grays, I am just making the selection tighter. And as you can see, I'll just move, and a bit too far, and I'll click like so. And as you can see, I'm just going to do the before. This is before the levels, and this is after. And it's a rather good selection. Then you just feel free to play with your own images. Bear in mind, all of these techniques are different depending on your image, but the most important thing is this: make sure that the hairs over here on the edge are in focus. Even though they are in focus like these ones here, they're not very sharp, so do apply any sort of sharpness to the image to get a bit more detail. and according to your image, add saturation or reduce saturation before you go into channels. And there you go. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.